Hey, girly. Make sure your microphone is, make sure your microphone is off. I'm starting to record. Good morning. Let me get Facebook open here. Actually, let's go. Hold on a second. Why is she being that way? Something's going on here. Hold on. All right. I think we are ready. Are we ready? Are we all really ready for all of this? So today's lecture is about how to get your video camera level. Actually, today the lecture is about why everything can't be friggin' shanti, shanti, shanti. And so those of you who know what shanti, shanti, shanti means, it's basically peace, love, happiness, you know, all this stuff. Peace, 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 happy, 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 right? Joy, 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 right? And so, yeah, I don't think anything's freaking happy, happy, happy right now. Right? Let me get all my lights on so I can look fancy dancy in my yoga, my at-home yoga studio. It's one of the things that I find very entertaining right now is the fact that it probably blacked me out more. Now I'm all silhouetted. One of the things that has entertained me quite a bit is watching all of our newscasters. No, you can't see me better. All of our newscasters and everybody just really starting to get pretty disheveled, right? Because everything is not shanti, shanti, shanti right now. Everything can't be happy, happy, joy, joy, right? And so go ahead and get a comfortable seated position while I try to get some lighting on me so I don't look like I'm, there we go. So I don't look like I'm blacked out so much. All right, here we go. somewhat better. So why can't everything be freaking shanti, shanti, shanti? Because it's not the way it works, right? There's ones and zeros in our programming, and you have to have that juxtaposition for this reality to work, right? It seems so, you know, it's kind of like asking why is 1 + 1 2, right? It just freaking is. That was one of the things that I learned when I started teaching, homeschooling my daughter. By the way, all of you guys homeschooling, I've been there, done that, did that voluntarily. Did it for a couple of years, and then she wanted to go back to school. But what we're talking about today is you have some yogis that are just bliss and light and happiness, and they just move through this world on fairy wings and unicorn farts, right? But in reality, the most of us aren't that way, right? And guess what? I've known these people for 20 years. In reality, they really aren't that way either. There's always a juxtaposition, right? And so I have always, you know, said that there's 2 types of yogis. There's the tree hugging, granola bar, joy, joy, joy ones, and then there's my class that, you know, cusses like a sailor and really deals with the world we live in and the existential, you know, the existential world where we're, you know, looking for enlightenment and spirituality and living on that fractal plane. But you know what? That's handy dandy if you live in, you know, Hawaii and have this beautiful home and you don't have to worry about anything or whatever your secure lifestyle it is. Most of us don't have that. And so life can't be all friggin' shanti, shanti, shanti. It can't be all joy and happiness. And so how do we understand that? How do we translate that even to a physical practice? And so I describe human involvement as in the understanding of growing plants in a greenhouse. So any of you who've grown garden plants or started seedlings inside or had a greenhouse or something, there is this thing where plants are grown in this safety net where they don't have bugs or temperature or anything that is in fluctuation, being in a greenhouse or seedlings being inside, started inside. But there's this thing that if you put plants outside, they will die within a couple days if you don't do this thing. It's called hardening off, right? And I believe that that is why we have juxtaposition in our world so greatly, is that we're doing these hardening offs, right? And so for every one of the little 1,000 cuts you get, you can choose to become stronger and heal over, or continue to get those cuts and be wounded and die, right? The thing about it is the cuts are still there. The Buddha says you have 88 problems, you get rid of one, you have 88 problems because you get another one. And everything can't be shanti, shanti, shanti. There's ones and zeros in everything. And so how that relays into a physical practice is that we'll go into a posture. I'll have you hold it, hold it, hold it. Like we'll go through every emotion in your mind, or throughout the whole physical practice, you'll be going through this like rocking chair experience, right? Where it's this almost this like love-hate experience, right? Where you're like, oh, first part of the class, you freaking hate down dog because your hamstrings are tight. But then by the time I've held you in Warrior 2 or some freaking balance pose for 2 minutes, you're so ready for that freaking Warrior 1 or a down dog after the Warrior 1. And it's the same thing in life. You know, if everything was jelly, you'd want the biscuit, right? So we have to look at times in our lives, not through consistent rose-colored glasses. And when we do that, we settle into what the reality of our situation is. It isn't the Debbie Downer. This isn't meant to be a Debbie Downer meditation or conversation or lecture. This is a reality base so that you actually have tools to not make it a Debbie Downer situation, or at least at the smallest amount of effect on your spiritual and internal being as possible. And so what does that mean in any sense? You're the same entity inside that you've been all your life or lives, right? There's a place in you that can still remember and feel and be that entity that was 7 years old, right? And you don't feel it as though you're a 7-year-old. You feel it as you as a 7-year-old. And so there's this entity, this soul, this being, this essence that goes through us throughout life. And we can choose to let our life change that essence and turn it into something that's not this pure thing that came into the world, into something that no longer enjoys this world. We don't go through the hardening off phase, we just stay in the hardened phase, right? And so that's what I mean by everything can't be freaking shanti, shanti, shanti. Like there are days ahead that are not gonna freaking be good. And I am not gonna candy coat it. And I am a light worker in the way that I allow you to find your journey to your light, right? And I think our journeys are all changing right now. We're all in flux. And I want us all to be mentally prepared so that essence that was us at 7 years old, at 21, at 28, at all these different mile markers in our life is still able to carry on, right? And so I've been talking about how we learn as adults, and that comes from this meditative state and repetition. I've talked about how to tack into those spaces by different breath work. I've talked about the afflictions that happen in our lives, whether it be, you know, lack of moderation or violent thoughts against ourselves and others. I've talked about the whole gamut pretty much of this 8-limb path, this outline that Patanjali laid out for us, not to touch our foot to the back of our head, but to get our head out of our ass. To learn how, by the way, sorry for those of you with kids in the room, just realized that. You know, that how are we going to make it through what is perceivably for the large majority of us the next 6 months to a year of a lot of challenge? Because if you think after 9/11 was hard, if you think 2008 and the housing market crash was hard, this is affecting the whole world too, right? And this has a chance to come back in February. So like I said, this isn't doomsday. This isn't Debbie Downer. This is reality so that you can come out mentally, spiritually, and physically, emotionally on the other side of this. Because there are many points in your life, and I'm sure you can look back at them personally, many points in your life where there were this crossroad, this V in the road. You could choose to go down one or the other. You can look back and be very grateful that you decided to not go down that other road. This is your crossroads time. And this is not a fatalistic approach. Actually, this is a very progressive, hopefully enlightening approach. What do we see right now? Right now we see an abundance of art and creation. I see people checking, not personally in my neighborhood, I wish they would though, but online, people checking their mail in like out in dinosaur costumes. Welcome to being a burner, you know? Welcome to the lifestyle that a lot of burners to some extent have already embraced this. Well, I don't care anymore. Let's see what is good about this moment and take it, right? And I inspire you to do that. Why am I inspiring you to do that? Is because I realized over the whole last month, I haven't taken one bit of fun in my day. It's just the honest truth. I have stayed disciplined for the most part. I've kept myself busy. I've stayed creative, so I'm painting. I'm doing my own personal yoga practice and my meditation. I'm eating a lot. I'm sleeping a lot more, right? However, and I'm doing self-care, you know, so I'm doing like, you know, deep conditioning on my hair. But I'm not doing anything fun. And nothing joyful, right? I've had some fun. I've met with my friends on, you know, online, Zoom, and done yoga classes and got to see some really great stuff. But I haven't had fun, right? And that's the other aspect, is that we're about to go through something and we're going to forget about fun and play. We're going to forget that 7-year-old entity within us, and we're going to click into this left brain space where we're on survival mode, where we're working from reptilian brain, right? So how can we avoid this? How can we move past this next several really trying times and still feasibly have fun? And even saying that right now feels a little superficial, right? What we can do is we can find joy and fun in every little thing we do, right? Everything we do, right? And that comes back to the awareness of the now moment. It comes back to the breath. It comes back to being present with the now, not thinking about past regrets and future fears, right? Because it's going to be there, right? It's about living in this now moment, so much so that your day-to-day life doesn't rob you of your joy and your ability to pursue the next day's moment. And so, so I have been doing a very regimented practice, which has been Ashtanga. Just because it's a regimented practice doesn't mean that we can't play in it some days. Some days will be very, very serious, where we're focusing on our drishti, which is our visual gaze, and our bandhas, which is our control center, our power center. Some days we'll be focusing deeply on the breath, on alignment. There's place for joy in your practice. There's place for joy even when things aren't all freaking shanti, shanti, shanti. There's place for play in your life when things are not going right. So today's practice is going to be playful, right? And so those of you who are joining Mary for a playful practice, will you do what you can, right? And so what do I mean by that? Is really take that approach. When I first started doing my level of practice, I face planted many times. I call it a puddle of grace on the earth. I've plowed into walls. I've fallen out of poses. I've like jumping through, like my feet would catch and I smacked straight legs on my butt. I've done all kinds of things. Balance poses totally wiped out. Arm balances, woo, those are fun. But even in those challenging moments, my mind was able to stay in the play, right? It was able to stay in that moment when you're on the jungle gym and you fell off and you just like flipped it out, right? And so today I want you to just flip it out. Your whole day, just flip it out. Whatever it is, not flip out about it, but flip it out, right? And so go ahead and come onto hands and knees, all fours, cat cows. And what do I mean by that? When you come over onto your hands and knees, you're going to place your hands underneath your shoulders. Excuse me, I didn't take my allergy pill because I thought I was good. No, it was just the rain. I was not good. So index fingers are at 12 o'clock. Knees are directly underneath hips. On your exhale, you're going to round like a Halloween cat. Those of you who have kids in your room, you can meow at this point if you want. Those come to your cow posture, turning your face and tailbone up. Continue to go back and forth through your breath, right? And so you might decide to go ahead and have fun with this. So you might use your spine like a jump rope. Right? You might pretend that you're Tawny Contain on the top of that white snake car and just like whip your hair around. I'm dating myself, but that's one of my favorite cues. So deal with it. It's my class. Right? So you can start to arc side to side. Whatever it is, man, if you freaking feel like being in a dinosaur costume doing your yoga practice, do it, because I'm telling you right now is the time for as much silliness and joy. Squeak it in at every moment, right? Down dog is your next space. As you come to down dog, pedal your feet, wag your tail, move around. Also, while you're here and you're moving around, for those of you who are moms, I'm going to give you the world's best advice, especially since you're quarantined in-house with your kids. The word mom, and lift your leg and down dog if that's what you're doing. The word mom can become like Chinese water torture after a month of quarantine. Oh yeah, that felt good. How about you change your name? One of the things that I did when my child was young is after 7:30, because I was essentially an at-home mom, after 7:30 at night, I became Queen Lola. So and she became Princess Lulu Moon. So I suggest you guys start to play in that area too. Otherwise, mom is going to sound like Chinese water torture before too long. All right, guys, go ahead and walk those feet up to the hands. Try to keep the hands all the way down onto the floor until you get to the top. Even if you need to bend the knees to do so. You're going to let your arms hang like zombie arms. You're going to roll your spine all the way up to standing. Once you arrive at the top of the mat, you're going to say hello, right? I'm going to move my block out of the way and just slide my yoga mat back a little bit because I'm all up in this trees business. All right. So from here, standing tall at the top of the mat, turning big toes together if you're able. If that is too narrow of a base for balance, then you can keep your feet 4 inches wide. We're going to just go ahead and play with it, all right? So this first part of it is a Sun Sound C. Some of you might not have done this with me before, but basically I'm going to warm you up really quick because I talked too long, right? So inhale, sweep your arms up, palms together, gaze at the thumbs while you do a little mini upper back bend. Exhale, hands to the mat as you step the left knee back and down onto the earth. We inhale, come up to Holy City. On our exhale, we're going to put our hands down and chaturanga through the posture.
On your inhale, you're going to come to your up dog. On your exhale, as you lift your hips, you step the left foot forward, dropping the right knee down. Inhale comes to your holy city. Hands come down to the top of the mat. You're going to step forward and fold into your legs. On the inhale, you'll come all the way up and back. On the exhale, you'll go all the way back down to the floor. You'll step back with the right knee. We'll inhale, come up, holy city. Exhale, hands down, lowering through a chaturanga. You can do that on your knees if you need to. Inhale to your up dog. Exhale, lifting your hips as the right foot comes forward. Left knee comes down. Holy city with your inhale. Hands down, step forward and fold. Inhale comes all the way up with a small back bend. Exhale comes all the way back down, left knee back. Inhale comes up. This will start to pick up in a moment. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog, left foot forward, holy city. Inhale. Step forward, fold. Inhale all the way up with a back bend. Exhale, hands down, right knee back. Inhale, holy city. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog, right foot forward. Inhale, holy city. Exhale, step forward and fold. Inhale, all the way up, picking up the pace. Exhale, fold, left knee back. Inhale, up. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog, left foot forward. Inhale, holy city. Exhale, step forward, fold. Inhale, all the way up. Exhale, down, right knee back. Inhale, holy city. Exhale, chaturanga. Up dog. Down dog, right foot forward. Inhale up. Exhale, step forward and fold. Picking up the pace. Inhale up. Exhale, hands down, left foot back. Inhale, holy. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog, left foot forward. Inhale up. Exhale, step forward. Inhale all the way. Exhale, forward fold, right knee back. Holy city, inhale. Chaturanga, exhale. Up dog. Down dog, right foot forward. Inhale, holy city. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, hands down, left foot back. Inhale, holy city. Exhale, chaturanga. Up dog. Down dog, left foot forward. Inhale up. Exhale, step forward, fold. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, hands down, right knee back. Inhale, holy city. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale up. Exhale, back, right foot forward. Inhale, holy city. Exhale, step forward, fold. Inhale all the way up. Last round. Exhale, fold, left foot back. Inhale up. Exhale, lower, chaturanga. Up dog. Down dog, left foot forward. Inhale, lift. Exhale, step forward and fold. All the way up. Exhale, fold. Right knee back. Inhale, come up. Exhale, up dog. Down dog, right foot forward. Inhale, holy city. Exhale, step forward and fold. Nice. Move those feet out, ragdoll. So as you move into your ragdoll and you hold on to your elbows, swaying from left to right. You'll notice the breath is going. You're starting to feel more awake, more alive. Wonderful. Bend the knees. Let those zombie arms hang as you roll all the way up. Wonderful. All right, guys. So now we're moving into, excuse me, Sun Sal B. There is a jump back here. Jump back. You do not have straight arms. There is no plank. You want to make sure that you have shock absorbers. It'd be like jumping, landing with straight legs. It doesn't feel good, right? So when we jump back, elbows are bent. If you cannot bend the elbows, you need to step back. You will blow your rotator cuff, right? We're trying to play, not hurt ourselves, right? Big toes together, inhale chair. Exhale fold. Inhale lift halfway. Step or hop back, chaturanga. Up dog. Down dog. Right foot forward, left heel spins flat. Inhale, warrior one, come up. As soon as you're up, you're down, chaturanga. Up dog. Down dog is left foot steps forward, right heel spins down. Inhale comes up. Exhale comes down, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. So we're here in down dog for 5 breaths. You'll notice that this breath is a little slower paced, but it's just as powerful as the breath that we just did on our Sun C. The reason why we did our Sun C first is because I wanted to warm you up quickly so that we can do some more powerful, playful practice today, right? So from here, in that down dog, on your next inhale, you're gonna bend your knees. You're gonna look at the top of your mat like a little kitten about to pounce, right? From that space, you're gonna jump with your big toes together at the very end of your next exhale. And come right into the inhale of your belly boot. Exhale is gonna fold back over. Inhale is gonna come into your chair pose. Wonderful. Hands at the sides, mountain pose. So we're gonna utilize that part through a lot of our practice, but I'd like you guys to step with your feet so that they're a little wider than hip distance. Grab your peace fingers, put them in between your second and first toe, grabbing a hold of that big toe. Thumbs come over the top. Notice my palms are facing inward. Elbows go out. I'm gonna pull my head to the floor by pulling on those toes, but I don't let the toes rise up. I'm trying to strengthen the arch of my feet. Staying here for 4. Shoulders out of the ears. Moving the breath, low belly tight to support the pose. On your next inhale, lift halfway up like you're doing Betty Boop. Take your hands, turn the palm up and put it underneath your hand. Put it underneath your hand so much so that the toes come up to the wrist. You might need to bend the knees to do this, that's fine. Straight legs are overrated anyway. So dig your toes into the wrist, massage that meaty part of your thumb. You're gonna need that, we're gonna do some playtime, right? So really massaging that, flaring the elbows out, getting the back of the neck long, pulling those shoulders away from the ears. I'm still pulling myself down. Inhale 1, 2. A little more weight towards the toes and the wrists. 3, 4. Inhale 5, lift halfway. Exhale 5, hands come to your hips. Push the floor away with the balls of the feet, especially. Inhale, come flat back all the way up. Hamstrings. All right, so the first posture is a balance posture. It's all about tightness in the core. This will help you in handstands and arm balances that we'll do here in a moment. Those of you who are wanting to learn a little handstanding arm balance stuff, I'm starting a inversion lab where you'll get like homework to practice to make your inversions better. Starting another thing on my list, right? All right, so those of you who step off the mat like I do,
Watch, we'll change on the 5th breath. You'll either bring the right knee up with the hand onto the knee, or the toe, whichever one keeps you upright. We'll stay there for 5 breaths. We'll go out to the side for 5 breaths. We'll come center. We'll release that leg, point the toe like we're pointing through a gas pedal, right? All right, so standing tall, mountain pose. Big toes are together so the base of your stance is fairly narrow to start off with. We're going to bring that right knee up, hand onto kneecap or onto big toe, left hand onto your waistline so you can feel this low belly supporting this leg. Inhale, 1. Let the ankle do its happy little ankle dance. It's going to do it anyway. 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 5 goes out to the side. Look like Captain Morgan if your knee is bent. Exhale, 5 looks over that left shoulder if you have the balance. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 5 comes back center. Hands are onto hips. Straighten that leg, everybody. Inhale, 1, stand up tall. I see you bending your head forward. Pull it back. Inhale, 2, head over shoulders. Chin neutral with the earth. 3, 4. Kick it higher. 5. Other side. Bringing that left leg up, doing mirror image of what you just did. Pulling the belly back so that the low belly is holding that leg. Inhale, 1. So you should essentially be able to let go somewhat, right, without it dropping too much. 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 5, opens out to the side. I'm really pushing through my standing big toe and this big toe in the air as I look over my right shoulder. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Bring it back center on that 5th inhale. Exhale, everybody straightens their leg, points the toes. Inhale, 1, 2. Pull your head back. I can see it pulling forward. 3. Thank you. I love Zoom. And left and release. Wonderful. Shake that all out. All right. I like that I can still essentially circle you guys like a shark and not be in your rooms. That's great. All right. Plus, I know what you're doing anyway. You're locking out your knees. Your second toes are iron at 12 o'clock and your head's probably forward in every other posture. Or you're like me, gymnastics dismount. Right. All right. So trying to keep our natural habits out of our yoga poses. Let's bring our big toes together. We're going to go through a flow here. If you want to jump back, you can do so. Inhale into chair. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Step or hop back, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Staying here for 5 breaths. Inhale, 1. Press through the pinky toes and the pinky fingers. Just making a nice little connection with that. Inhale, 2. 3. 4. Exhale, bends the knees. At the end of the exhale, hop. Right into the inhale of your belly boot, but that wouldn't work out well. Exhale, fold. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, mountain pose. So remember, the name of the game today is playtime. So if this doesn't feel like play, you have to make it feel like play. All right, so we're going to step out with the right foot. Make sure that you can see me. Second toes are at 12 o'clock. Arms are floating out so that they are parallel to the mat. We've got about mid forearm distance. We're going to take this right foot, pivot it to the back end of the mat, with 12 o'clock at our second toe. Lean out over that front leg. If you can put the hand gently on the shin with the arm above your head, or grab a hold of the big toe. Remember how we were pressing that big toe down and pulling it up. Turn and look at the top hand. Inhale 1. Inhale 2. 3. Smile. Release this dopamine. 4. Inhale 5. It's going to come up. You're going to tick-tock the feet. Left foot at 12 o'clock. Heel to heel alignment. Come over into a triangle pose on this side. It's called triangle pose. Why? This top hand and toes make the triangle. These legs make a triangle. This arm and this leg and this body makes the triangle. In through the nose, out through the nose for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale is going to come up. We're going to pivot towards the back of the mat once again. 12 o'clock with the second toe of the right foot. Look, my back toes are really turned in so this back hip can come around. You're going to take your left hand down on the floor, inside or outside the front foot. If that is not available to you, you can always come onto the toes of the back foot or the knee. From here, we're going to take the hand down. We're going to open up our arms, revolving triangle. So just like the last pose, but we're twisted now. So as I extend my spine long, my arms are moving in opposite directions. Inhale 1. Try to turn and look up at your top arm. 2, by moving the right rib cage back. 3. Inhale 4. Use that 5th inhale like hydraulic fluid to come up, come around. Find yourself doing the exact same pose on the other side. If you need blocks, use blocks. You've noticed my legs are really short, right? I don't need no block to reach the floor. Blocks and props are more about geometry, right, than ability. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale 5. Come up to face me once again. From this space, move to the top of the mat and find your mountain pose. We're going to do another flow. You can skip this if you would like. Big toes together. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, step or hop back, chaturanga. It's up to you. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. We've got 3 breaths here this time. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. On that exhale, hop to the top of the mat right there at the end. And fold. Find your chair pose. Inhale. Mountain pose. Exhale. All right. So our next balance is going to be bringing the left foot or the right foot up into the groin. You're either figure 4 like you're drinking beer on Sunday, or you're bringing that heel up into the groin, right? Way up in there, right? So from this space, we're going to come to a forward fold. If you can't reach the floor, drop the foot either into that figure 4 or even into a cross leg. Those of you who are feeling Gumby today can take the right hand behind your back and grab a hold of that foot. Now I'm pressing that heel up into my hip so my leg is strong as I bow. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale 5, come halfway up with the breath. Exhale 5, stays there. Inhale 5, comes all the way up, releases the foot. Bring the feet together, 2 sides, not my fault. Take it up with the Creator. I didn't make you. So mirror image, whatever you're doing on one side, do on the other, right? And so as we come to this forward fold, I'm trying to move my face to the standing leg, to the rest of my body, right? Maybe the left hand comes behind my back, maybe it doesn't. Lift halfway with your inhale. Stay for your exhale. Lift on your next inhale. Exhale, releases the foot down. Wonderful. Standing tall at the top of your mat. Do a little Tibetan drum. Swing the arms around. Wonderful. Bringing those feet together on top of the mat, right? Toes touching. Heels have about that much in between them. Inhale, chair. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, step or hop back, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Stay here, 5 breaths. Inhale, 1. Inhale, 2. 3. 4. Exhale, jumps. Inhale, right into your belly. Exhale. Chair pose. Inhale. No, close. Exhale. Step out with your right foot. Super starchy. How I feel lately. All my favorites are starchy. All right. So super large step. You're probably underneath wrist. Turning that right foot out, taking that 90-degree bend in that leg. We're going to come out over that leg, put that hand inside or outside to the floor. We're going to take that left arm over. Now, for some of you that's not available to you, you can always put your forearm down, but don't collapse in the shoulder. Inhale, 1, aiming at those left fingers. 2, 3, 4. Use your inhale to come up. Tick-tock the feet, exact same pose, other side. Inhale, 1, 2. Always on. 3, 4. Inhale, 5 comes up. Bring your hands into prayer. Take warrior 2 feet. Bring this left elbow over this right knee. Now, if that's too much on your back knee, you can lift the back heel or drop the back knee down. Inhale, 1. Those of you who want to get all frisky with it, the hand goes down to the outside, and the arm goes over. It's ridiculousness. I'm not into it today. I'm trying to play. 2, 3, 4. Use your 5th inhale to come up. Tick-tock, exact same pose, other side. Right elbow comes over. You bend that knee, root through that front heel, twisting from the navel up, opening that top rib cage. 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 5 comes up to face me. This time, second toes are at 12 o'clock. Grab a hold with those peace fingers like we've been doing. Smash those fingers as you pull your head down. So I'm pulling on the toes, but the toes aren't coming up from their strength. My shoulder blades are out of the ears. Those of you who want to go into your first headstand are more than welcome to. So you want to come into any version of headstand that you want to play with. Do so. If you don't know how to do a headstand, maybe this isn't your time to try to learn. Heck, maybe it is, right? Who's gonna see you if you wipe out? Just hold your neck straight.
Wherever you are, continue to play for 4 more. 3, 2, and 1. Now, those of you who are in headstand, especially tripod, see if you can bring your knees down to your triceps. Once the knees are down, grip with your fingers and pull your head up off the floor and come into a squat position. Oh, everybody, even if that wasn't successful for you, everybody's in a squatty position, malasana, right? And so I'm dropping my hips down, my heels are onto the earth. I'm getting really sagged in my low back, but I'm pulling my belly back and I'm lifting through my heart. So, those of you who want to play with us a little bit more, you're going to put the hands down in front of your shoulders. So notice that my hands are shoulder distance apart. My index fingers are at 12 o'clock. I'm going to lift my hips and rotate my toes towards the back of my wrist. At this point, let me turn sideways now so you can see. I'm going to lift my heels and send my knees forward so they touch the back of my upper arm. And then I'm going to tilt forward and bend my elbows. I'm going to look down at my forearms and look to see this is not perpendicular to the earth. I'm going to lift my feet enough that my forearms come straight up and down. Once they're straight up and down, I'm balancing on bone and I can float the feet up. Right? For 4, 3, 2, and malasana. Right? So soles of the feet flat, hands are in prayer, sitting low. In through the nose, out through the nose. Wonderful. From here, we're going to take the left arm, put it inside the leg, reach around outside of the toes. We're going to take the right arm high. I'm opening up my chest and I'm dropping my sit bones down. I'm zipping up my abs as I twist without letting this left shoulder rise to my ear. And then I'm going to come center. Right? Make sure your heels are down. From here, we're going to go to the other side. So I bring my right arm, notice it's inside my leg as I bring my hand around. And then I'm going to pull my belly back, letting the rib cage twist as I take the left arm up. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Come center. Wonderful. Hands down, toes forward. Wiggle it out for a moment. Wonderful. Bend the knees, let those zombie arms hang as you roll. Oh, up to standing. Wonderful. Turn to stand, top of the mat, finding your mountain pose. We're going to go through a flow to kind of balance everything out again. Remember, no straight arms, so there is no plank in the jump back, right? Inhale into your chair. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Step or flip back, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale to your down dog. Stay here for 3 breaths. At the end of that last exhale, we're going to hop to Betty Boop again. Inhale, 1, 2, inhale, 3, bend the knees, look forward. At the very end of your exhale, hop. Exhale, fold. Wonderful. From here, I'm going to ask you to lift your heels up high, sit down onto your calf muscles, and then come into toe balance. So notice that I've got my heels are at my butt, my knees are parallel with the earth, and my hands are in prayer. For some of you, this might be a lot. Put your hands down. I'm trying to make your feet strong for sandal season, right? Inhale, 1, 2, 3. Squeezing heels and big toes together, 4. And 5. So find your butt, lift your legs both. So your knees can be bent. If this hurts your back, take your fingers behind you, because that doesn't take the weight of your legs off your abs. It just takes the pressure off your back. Lets you sit up more like you're on a mud flap of a truck. All right. So wherever you are for 4, 3, 2, and right leg over left. Knees really, really close to the chest. Hands are down and forward of your butt. Inhale left. And put it back down, both toes. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Left over right, hands down. Left, and put it down. Wonderful. This time, see if you can grab a hold of the feet or the back of the legs. We're pulling our face to our feet without falling over. For 4, smile, it releases dopamine. Push those toes up into the fingers. Remember how we were holding on to those toes all class? That comes back in here. 2, and now hold on to the legs. You're going to extend the legs and the arms long. You're going to drop your head back without falling back. See if you can look at the wall behind you. Wonderful. Come up. Cross right leg over left. Make your way back to down dog, any old fun way you want to get there. If you want a chaturanga, you just put your hands forward of your feet, use the edges of the feet, jump back, come up, and go back to down dog. All right. Those of you who don't have blocks will come with me. Even if you do have blocks, you'll still do this, right? We're preparing for our back bend, so they do. This practice does insane hip openers. Nothing's relaxed, so watch me. We're going to look at the place between our hands. We're going to jump to that little toe balance, but my ankles are crossed this time. From that space, I'm going to move my hands behind my hips and rock back into flat hands, lift, and sit down. Somewhat like that, right? If you have blocks, you can jump all the way through. If you have a blanket like I do, you can put it in a sliding floor. You can put it at the end of your mat and you can catch it to slide as well. So from this space, we're going to take, since we're going into back bends, I want you to take the right foot back. Top of the foot is down, shoelaces are down. You can grab the calf muscle as a bicep. You can actually grab the outer muscle and kind of pull it out of the way. It'll take some tension off of that leg. So you have an option here of just sitting up tall with a bent left knee, or pulling that knee into the thigh and bringing the foot up, kind of like it was just in that boat posture, or the leg is straight, right? If the leg is straight, you want to allow this right arm to come over the bottom of the foot as much as you can. Relax that right side. As I grab on with the left, I'm going to press, like I'm pressing into a gas pedal to lengthen that whole left side. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Nice and easy. You're going to put this left foot down. So this pose is great for learning how to jump back, because you can put some pressure in these feet. I'm going to get you to come forward, put your hands down, and then you're going to jump your feet back. Inhale comes up, exhale goes back to down dog. So you can do the little birdie jump one more time, looking at the top of your mat. You're going to jump, try to cross the ankles. Once the ankles are crossed and you're landed, hands go back, Lean back into straight hands and sit down. Other side. So you're going to bring the top of the left foot back. Right? Shoelaces are down. Right leg is either like into your armpit, right? Or up to the sky. If you have super short legs like me, half of this is just geometry, right? So I'm taking my left hand, relaxing it around the bottom of my right foot, and then I press, like pressing into a gas pedal, right? Inhale, 1. 2. 3. Inhale, 4. Inhale, 5, lift up. Exhale, 5, right foot down. Hands come down and forward. Kind of pop the feet back and lower. I did that for straight arms. I shouldn't have done that. Sorry, guys. I was watching myself in the video. Bend your elbows. Bend your freaking elbows. All right. So you're either doing the little bird perch, or I may demonstrate what it looks like to jump forward onto a blanket. We'll see. So my blanket's not on my mat. It's on the slidey place of my floor. I'm going to jump. Oh, had to catch it a little bit, right? So that's the way to learn to jump through, right? From here, I'm going to have you bring your right foot back. There is a 4-inch space between this foot and this left leg. I'm going to center up my hips. I'm going to take my left arm over and then bring it into salute, right? Right hand comes onto your low back, not the floor, as you look over your right shoulder. Lots and lots of core to hold this, because this is what a balance, an arm balance feels like when you're in one of those twisty ones, right? So even here, if you could think about this, this is like ekapada. So you're building the strength for that ekapada right into this space. 2 more. And 1. Turn back around. Right ankle over left. Make your way back through your flow, or just stay at the top of the mat. We're all making our way back to the top of our mat, our next breath. Right? All right. So left foot comes in. Right arm comes over. Feel that lift in the spine. Feel the right left hand on the low back. Inhale, 1. Turn and look over the left shoulder. 2. 3. 4. Inhale, 5. Turns back around. Left ankle over right. Make your way back. Getting tired. Up dog, down dog. Wonderful. Looking at the top of your mat, step, jump, or crawl, right, to your seated position again. Gets harder and harder at the end of class, right? So from this space, we're going to go into our back bending. I would like you guys to take it at your own accord, right? So if you have a blanket or a yoga mat, you can roll it up. I like to roll up my yoga mat because we're working towards Kapasana. Right? Why not? Right? So if you have a block, you can put your block back there. Knees are wider than our standard camel pose. Not too much wider, but they're more like shoulder distance rather than camel, which is right up underneath us, right? All right, so knees are a little wider. All right, so let's talk about moving back. This will prep you for back bend drop backs. This is a really intense pose. There is this thing that happens in your body either in stretches or when you're lifting like too much weight. It's called your bulgy tendon response. And basically, you've seen it in gyms, like some guy will be pumping it out and all of a sudden he just drops his weights, right? Going back into this,
if you try to go back too far and can't still breathe some, you're gonna drop yourself. So maybe wooden block like mine is not the thing that happens, right? So first we're just gonna start off with a basic cameling, right? So pinky toes are down, feet are wide, hands are into prayer. So I'm gonna send my hips forward, my spine up and back. I'm gonna see if I can get a little glimpse at that block, right? And then come up. So each time I go back, I'll go back a little bit further. But there's a point of when you're going back, if you feel like you're too far, you are too far. Because you'll hold your breath and you'll drop out of it. So let's do 5 of these. This is something that it's hard for me to talk and do at the same time. And so it's an inhale back, exhale up, all right? 5 of them. Push your toes down. 3 more. 2 more. And last one, go. Wonderful. Bring the hands forward, tuck the toes under, sit back on tucked toes. Should have been a little intense. But that will help you ultimately in your drop backs. We'll see how my drop backs are right now, right? I was a little creaky. So when you're going to drop backs, it's essentially as though, why not do this on live video, right? So it's essentially like there's a bungee cord here, right? And so as I drop back, I want to have control all the way up and down, right? All right. So did that distract you long enough for your feet? Come forward, shiatsu those feet out. Wonderful. All right, guys. So I want to play with this end of class since we've done back bends a little bit, just playing with handstand. If you need a wall, find a wall. If you don't need a wall, don't go to a wall. We're just doing simple kick-ups today. Today's class is about finding some play. Traditionally in Ashtanga yoga, you learn how to do handstands after you learn how to do good back bending. Why? Because if you don't have a wall, you end up in a back bend. Which brings me to the topic of my conversation here. If you're moving over to a wall, you better not. I see you moving that phone to a wall. So this is the thing, is that if you kick into a handstand, you are guaranteed to go into a back bend. However, if you lift into a handstand, you're 50% likely not to go into a handstand, right? Or back bend, excuse me. So what do I mean by that? So today we're going to practice rocking. So I bell to the left, so I'm going to move my mat just a little bit closer so that I can bell out if I want to. So, and that's another thing to know is like what side you like to step out on. All right, so notice my arms are straight, my index fingers are at 12 o'clock. If there was a wall, the blanket would be my wall, right? So I'm not right up against the wall because you're going to shift forward a little bit and you'll whack your head into the wall. So what I'd like you to do is pick one leg up, whichever one feels natural to you. And all I'm going to do is ask you to lift and lower that standing heel, right? Not a big deal, right? Feel that? All right. Come down with that leg, do the other side. Lift and lower with the standing heel. Right? Wonderful. Put that foot down. Other leg lifts back up. Now lift the leg and put it down. Chain panda, right? Lift and lower, lift and lower. So as you lift a little bit, give it a little with the leg, a little pull with this leg, and you'll see how it starts to pull on that other leg, right? Let's do the other side. Lift that leg up, kick it, kick the leg, like try to reach the leg over your head, right? All right, so come down for a second. Let's talk about that. Turn your wrists around. So if you know how to do handstands, you can go ahead and play in this. But notice how when I was propelling the straight leg up, it was pulling the other leg off the floor. That's what you want to do. You don't want to jump off that foot. You might want to get a little springboard like the rocking that we just did, but you don't want to jump because that's inertia. You have to stop at the top of the pose. Instead, get just enough force to get up there, right? So we're gonna play with that simultaneously. Take whatever leg you want to up, right? And start to kick with the heel, start to feel it pull on this right leg. And as it does, now get the rock going with it, right? Once the rock is going, get the rock, right? Start to straighten the arms a whole lot and see if you can float up, right? And come back down. So you'll do that on both sides. So remember, it's about the heel and the rock, heel, rock. And then my arms are super straight, so I just pull off up, right? Continue on, practice that for another couple of minutes or a couple of moments. How about that? Let me see if I can see in the video. All right, wonderful. So what I'm seeing, one of the things that I do, gymnastics dismount. So as you're rolling into this, guys, keep, when I lift my heel, I'm pulling my abs in, right? And so as I lift my heel, I'm like pulling that leg into my chest. Try that a couple more times. Wonderful. There you go. Yes, 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 much better. So yes, so there's this attachment, very good, I saw that. There's this attachment from the tricep to the upper abs that you want to keep in a handstand. You want to keep this link, these muscles tethered in. And it really, the center of that is right there, those shoulder blades dropping back and those solar plexus pulling in. Wonderful. All right. So Ashtanga doesn't really have like a set of hip openers. You just do insane hip openers while you're jumping through, but we're towards the end of our class. So I would like to do a little bit of one of their hip openers, and then we're just going to do like legs up the wall or legs up for a little bit before we come into our Shavasana. So this is the hip openers. They're kind of at the end of one of the Ashtanga series. So you're going to take your left leg out, point the toes. You're going to grab a hold of the right big toe. You're going to bring your face to the shin, and notice I'm pressing down through this left leg. This is much like that balance that we were doing earlier. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 5, moves it out to the side, lays the head down. Exhale, 5, looks over the left shoulder. Inhale, 1. Inhale, 2. Three, 4. Inhale, 5, brings the leg back up. Exhale, 5, face to shin. Inhale, lets the leg come down. Exhale, other side. Inhale, face to shin. So your face is coming to your left shin. You're pointing through the right toes, keeping that right side rooted. 4 more. 3, 2, 1. Lay the head down, let the leg go out to the side. Take your gaze over your right shoulder. Inhale, 1. Leg probably won't greet the floor, because if it greets the floor, that means it needs to start moving up towards the shoulder. Because ultimately, you would take this right arm over, let's see if I can do this today, over the top. Left leg is not wanting to do it. And then the right hand, or the left hand would come down onto that right leg, but that's a lot of bumpiness right there. All right, and then coming center, face to shin, and then release that leg down. Those of you who want to prop on a block will lift your butt and put the legs up in the sky. You can also do this with butt against the wall. You can do this with a couple blankets or pillows under. Basically, all I'm trying to do is drain all that stuff out, right? So getting you upside down for a significant amount of time, especially at the end of a deep breath practice, does a couple different things. One, makes your heart work harder, because then the heart's got to pump that blood up. And then two, it flushes your lymph system with a bunch of extra blood, because all of the blood, as you can feel, is starting to cool down around your head and stuff. So when you slip up, it's kind of this, like an ice bath. You know, you work out, then you get an ice bath that makes everything retreat to the center. Kind of that same flushing experience. The other thing that it does, it takes some of the pressure off the back, takes some pressure off the legs, and it'll help drain all this sinus stuff as well. So go ahead and just continue to keep your legs up. We tend to either do a headstand or supported shoulder stand, but we had a really kind of vigorous, playful practice today, so I went to just legs up. Wonderful. All right, guys, go ahead and let your body come down, and when it comes down flat onto the floor, feel what the body feels like. Feel like the blood settling back through, feel that prana moving back through the body, so try not to wiggle too much. And then if you need a spinal twist or two, you're more than welcome to do that now, but I would ask you to kind of settle into your shavasana or your meditation this morning. And so as you get all your little bits of wiggles out, moving into a place of stillness, this is called corpse pose or dead man's pose. So dead men don't fidget, right? Well, they do for a little bit, a few days afterwards, but not really, right? So lay there, get all your fidgets out. And once you do, really notice the body laying. Notice your body here in this now moment on the yoga mat. Everything resting, the jaw, the tongue is releasing from the roof of the mouth, the back of the throat is soft, and shoulders are relaxed. The belly is moving freely with the breath. The glutes are releasing into the earth. There's a gentle outer spiral to the heavy muscles of the thigh bone. You can feel the back of the calves pushing into the earth. And even the space between the toes and the sole of the foot starts to relax. And so as you lay here, taking just this now moment, I want you to bring to mind playful ideas, creative ideas, something fun that you can do today. It has nothing to do with any nonsense that may be going on in your life right now. Breathe into it. And let all that stuff that stops you from playing today fall away.
Today is our day to play. Our day to find a little joy. A day to let the weight of the world go for just a moment. Live in today. Live in the now moment. Feel the breath in this space. And so, as you feel this breath in this now moment, I would ask you to lay in this creative space, to lay in this open heart, to lay in this space of childlike wonder, right, for as long as you can. Namaste.